with your band name, This Will Destroy You. It definitely kind of, along with all the primal animal associations that you guys have with your album art, definitely paints this picture of kind of this post-apocalyptic version of nature almost, or this will destroy you, kind of man versus nature maybe, because the animals you guys use, I think, in your art are all very powerful and aggressive kind of beasts. So what's the connotation there?
I mean, it originally started out as a joke. We just thought we were going to name a song "This Will Destroy You."
Right.
And thought that was really pretentious, and we find that hilarious.
Like sonically destroy you,
yeah,
basically just...
Yeah. But I think as we've grown as a band, especially with the next album coming out, I think we might actually finally live up to our name.
Okay.
And we're all about the destruction of Earth and animals and nature.
And nature? No, not and
nature. Just playing with you, man.
Look, nature's gonna win either way, alright? Nature will...
Right.
As long as the cat's naked, man, that's all I give a shit about. Fucking cats.
They're fine. They'll be good.
I think the cats are alright, man. They got a good breeding thing.
They're the best hunters.
I mean, as long as you're not just looking at China, I think it'll be okay. No offense,
so.
It's just statistically true.
Hope so.
So yeah, definitely. Also with to get again to your album art, Young Mountain EP that has an image of a massive bear with a small wooden cabin on top of the bear, mounted, almost as if I guess humankind's manipulation of the environment is just merely riding on the back of nature. So I mean, inevitably, nature's reigning victorious. You know, I mean, that's what's always there. That's what's always been there, and that's the reason we're able to do what we do. So I definitely get that through just the imagery on your albums, and which I guess brings me to my next point, is you guys are clearly an all-instrumental band. There's not really any even spoken word, there's no singing or lyrics in your music. Was that a conscious choice ahead of time, or did you guys say, hey, we're just going to let the music speak for itself, it's powerful enough in its own right, or you just don't want to sing?
There's vocals now.
There's vocals now, yeah. I mean, before...
On the new album?
On the new album there are. And it's... You can hardly tell, honestly, though. I mean,
they don't sound like vocals.
It just sounds...
I mean, I haven't had a chance to listen. I've heard the single.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't really... We tried vocals at first.
Okay.
And they were awful. So... We just kind of did the instrumental thing. None of us really... the original members, none of us really listened to post-rock or...
Okay.
Earth or anything like that. Godspeed was really the only band that we had as an influence, I guess, back then.
Which you could argue is kind of more of a chamber orchestra, if you want to get that genre.
I mean,
but still, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But regardless, now we're starting to take down all the walls that we had before when it comes to writing music.
It was just a peep.
Somebody peeping?
Yeah.
I like
I
peepers.
just like making those faces
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, I mean, we just don't want to put up barriers anymore. The first two albums were all about, you know, writing within a box, and now there is no box.
Interesting. Because, I mean, those two albums, too, I mean, immediately identifiable as your guys' sound. You know, kind of consistent with obviously 2 years in between, at least 2 years in between recording both of those, the self-titled and the first EP. Definitely maturation and development, but you could tell it's like your specific instrumental sound. Which I guess, if you could talk a little bit more about the instrumental aspect. When you realized you weren't going to do vocals, do you think you guys honed specifically on, we're going to highlight guitars, and the drums are just going to support it? Bass is going to kind of bleed in, or was it like we want a specific tone that we want to highlight? I mean, because now you're speaking in just musical terms. You're not saying we're going to have words and a specific idea or political theme that the music will kind of convey. It's just the music. So now you're just looking at the different instruments working together to convey a certain type of emotion, I guess, or feeling.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean...
Just what sounds good.
Well, if you're familiar with things like Peter and the Wolf, where they use music to convey, you know, to tell a story, basically, they represent different animals or characters throughout the story.
Right, each instrument is a different animal,
and when all those pieces are together, they create a mood. And I think it's more about creating a certain type of mood.
What I think is interesting with the songs is that it's different for every person in the band. Like,
right.
everybody has a different outlook on it. And I think what it comes down to is the fact that it's, at first at least, where just the idea was, make it universal.
Right.
For at least the people who are willing to accept it and let them interpret it in their way. And now we're more at the point where, like, this is our interpretation of life, and this is how we see it.
Right.
And there'll be growth in that direction too. I mean, this is just part one of, I'm sure, many more releases that we'll be doing. But yeah, I've always found it interesting that everybody has a different outlook for every song that we write.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the way it is for individual consumers of your music. And everyone I've listened to with your music kind of gets a different picture, a different sense of being. But you said about the universality of your music. I mean, it's obviously evidenced by your licensing of your music. You guys did like TV show, commercial, movie, documentary. I mean, are you gonna like? You need
I might explode.
It's like time, like too much light. I mean, you guys basically anywhere you could put music, you kind of have. So obviously,
that has nothing to do with like, if we're not against it, or mostly against the companies that are pushing it, then we'll go ahead and let it out there because we need to pay rent, we need to eat food.
Of course.
And at the same time, I'm proud of some of the things that we've licensed out. And then we've had some surprises too. Well, the Taking a Pelham trailer was as I never saw the movie because I was sure it would pretty much suck. But when I saw the trailer put together, I was like, they did a really fucking good job with the song. Like,
You put that shit on silent.
Jeremy doesn't do that.
I don't do. Yeah, I don't do that shit.
That shit haunts my dreams. I hear that when I'm home by myself. Like,
wake up in cold sweats. Like,
But I mean, like most of the stuff that I've seen, and we rarely get to catch it. Like the teen mom stuff, the 16 and pregnant. Whenever it's on there,
I didn't even know
that shit's hilarious, man. Really? It's really funny to me. The CSI stuff is really bad.
I think my aunt might have been on the same episode
Jersey Shore.
that was on. I think something like that. She's just one of those actresses who's like, I guess everyone's aunt has been on Law and Order. Or something. That's kind of like the same. in Hollywood's like everyone's been on Law and Order, but she has. I think it was like the same episode you guys are in or something like that.
Weird.
Something like that. Yeah, but it's very funny. I mean, so you do feel like you would draw the line if, say, Coca-Cola came up and said, we want to use your song to blast in bottling factories in South America. So it gives like a sense of well-being to workers.
Everybody has their price. Everyone has their price.
I'm not trying to say illustrate that, give me that line right now, but is there any kind of issue you have with, I guess, commodifying your music in a way that's drastically different than just giving someone your live show or a package of your CD? Does it feel different when you hear it or see it?
I think it depends on what kind of product is being pushed with our music.
Okay.
Whether it's like religious propaganda on YouTube or
Has that happened? Have people?
Yeah, those are the only ones we request to get taken down. We want no religious affiliation. We have no problem.
Are they offering to pay you for it, or
no? I mean, people. We're all about people, just throwing up their YouTube videos, and as long as it's not
the background of it.
They're not going to be making money off it. We don't care. Go for it.